Well, hello. Today is the 1982 Italian sword and sorcery movie Ator, the Fighting Eagle. A spider cult rules the land. A rebel is defeated but has a son destined to defeat them. A man takes the baby to be raised in a village far away. This young baby grows up to be Ator, and he falls in love with his sister and wants to marry her. Fortunately, he finds out he is not their real son and doesn't have to move to Arkansas. But on the day of the wedding, the spider cult attacks the village. They slaughter everyone except Ator's new wife and take her away. Ator must now get her back with the help of a cute little bear cub. He gets found by Greba, the warrior who hid him from the spider cult as a baby and arranged for his upbringing in the village. He also finds out his true heritage and is given a powerful sword to help him defeat the spider cult. He rescues a blonde woman who proves very ungrateful. This woman later turns out to be part of an Amazon tribe, and they kidnap Ator to force him to mate with their future ruler. The blonde woman is victorious in the fight to become leader, but she feels for Ator and helps him escape and helps him on his quest to find his wife and defeat the spider cult. He has to steal a magical mirrored shield from some blind guys. And then he has to fight his own shadow to get this shield. He defeats the evil spider priest and rescues his wife. He also then has to defeat Greba, who helped him because Greba was a former spider priest and now wants to take over. Woo, a lot of deep plot here. Of course, Ator then defeats the giant spider with the magical bullshit shield, and he lives happily ever after with his sister, not sister, wife. So, this was the first of the Ator movies that came out. There were 4 of them, and Miles O'Keefe starred in 3 of those 4s. And obviously, this was an Italian sword and sorcery made to capitalize on the success of the Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian. It was directed by Joe D'Amato, and it was, of course, starred Miles O'Keefe, and he was this kind of hunky blonde guy who had parts that required a hunky blonde guy that had little dialogue, so he wasn't challenged. He started out as Tarzan in the horrible Bo Derek movie, and even Joe D'Amato, commented that he was a nice guy and he liked working with him, but he didn't quite know his lines and he was, quote, listless behavior. So, he was just this laid back guy who didn't take his acting seriously. And to be honest, the movies he was in didn't require an actor to take it seriously. And so obviously, this is a very bad movie. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Bad acting, bad, plot, bad story, bad special effects. I mean, they had him fight his shadow. I mean, how cheap do you have to be? It saves a lot of money, I'm sure, on special effects or something. And, he had this Farrah Fawcett kind of hair that it even looked bigger than his co-stars. I must have punched a hole in the ozone layer using the hairspray to get him like that. And, this was obviously, what was someone thinking about, having him want to marry his sister? It's kind of like, who would think of that? I mean, I couldn't think up trying to write that. That wouldn't even come to my mind. It's just so weird. And obviously, it's this is a now this is obviously something I really love. I mean, I love these kind of hokey Italian bad movies. I mean, if you're one of those people who are a bit of a snob and require your cinema to be quality, then you're not going to enjoy this movie. But you know who you are, and you'll enjoy it if you like me and love these type of movies. Obviously, this probably must have made a ton of money, even though it was made super cheap, and came out in the 80s when the video rental market, where they were just churning out content and making millions on it. Those were the fun days, I tell you. And I just think, it is what it is. So if you've stayed with me this long, then I thank you a lot. You're a unique individual.